Okay, you're listening to Dominic Vozzo here on Hitmix 2RDJ FM at 8.1 stereo, and I want to tell you a little bit about something that's been very special for the last 2 weeks for me. The Festival Records has actually sent me in a track by a group called Shield, and it's featuring Lonnie Gordon, and I listened to it over the last week or so, and I thought that track was absolutely fantastic. So what I decided to do, I rang up Festival Records, and I want to thank the people over at Festival for giving me a few minutes of our time with Lonnie Gordon. But just before I speak to Lonnie, I want to tell you a little bit about Shield. Shield is a gentleman called Kyle Neven, who is a renowned Calvin Klein model and has received extensive media exposure in the UK, and also a model and a celebrity. He is Shield, and he's the producer and the writer of this track called God That Can Dance. And of course, Lonnie Gordon has already had massive worldwide success earlier in the 90s with the tracks called Happening, All Over Again, Scott Aikman and Waterman, and Gonna Catch You, UK top 30 hit, and much more. Lonnie has also gone to #1 in the Billboard charts 3 times in her career, provided vocals for CC Music Factory, Snap, and Chaka Khan, and much more. And she's born in Philadelphia. But I want to welcome Lonnie to 2RDJ today, or tonight actually. How are you, Lonnie? This is Dominic speaking.
How you doing?
Very good, very good. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time.
Thank you.
I don't know if you heard me there, but I mentioned to the people, the listeners that are listening in tonight, that I listened to this track about a week or so ago, or almost 2 weeks now, and I put it onto my CD at home, and it absolutely blew my mind.
Really?
It really did. I thought, this is fantastic. What a great track. So I took my time and said, well, maybe I can get a few minutes of Lonnie, because I knew you were coming into...
lovely, Dominic.
Yeah, I knew you were coming into Sydney. And,
yeah, it's my first time here.
Yeah. So what do you think of Sydney?
You know what? I flew on the plane yesterday for 21 hours, and the only thing I have seen so far is through the terrace, looking at the I think it's beautiful, but I haven't seen it yet. Well, I've been working this morning about 10. I'm jet lagged, like, wow. I never knew I could feel like this.
Is it the first time coming to Sydney?
Yes, and it's the first time me sort of flying that long, because I came in from New York.
Right.
And the time had changed so much, and for some reason I couldn't sleep.
Oh, right.
Right. But God That Can Dance is really funny. I recorded God That Can Dance 2 years ago, and the first time I heard it was on about 2 months ago on TV.
Right.
That's the first time I heard it. And I originally was supposed to be singing it for Tina Turner for a movie score or something.
Right.
And thank you. I just got paid for that track, too. But it blew me away. I put the television on. It was a soundtrack for a movie. Right. Otherwise, I'd have never known about God That Can Dance.
Yeah, I'll tell you what interests me about a few of the songs that you've put together. Most of them have a reasonable message to them. Like it's not just a dance track. I mean, I've listened to a bit of your music over the years, and I've played a fair bit of your music on my show here, and it always has some type of a reasonable message or meaning. What about this one? What's this one all about?
Well, the song for me, it was what I did was when I went to record a God That Can Dance, I slept for like 19 hours before I did it. Michael Cimbello was supposed to produce it. A lot of things happened, but the God That Can Dance, when I had to get my sleep, and after I slept for so many hours, I recorded it like within an hour and a half. I did the lead and the background. I thought that it's a different kind of song for me to sing, because it's much lyrics.
Right.
Much lyrics. And it's a very good song. I just heard the remixes of it again a month ago, and they just put it all together. But I think it's a very good anthem kind of song. I like it. Yeah,
I believe you're over here in regards to that too, aren't you? In regards to being an anthem song for the
Sleazeball.
Yeah, the Sleazeball. Oh, that's all right.
Yes,
not a problem.
They flew me all the way over here. I can't believe it, just to sing one song. First I was saying, they want me to sing one song, flying all the way to Australia for one tune. Yeah. And I thought, cool. And then when I got here, I didn't even know this song was in number 2 or 3. I didn't even know that.
Right.
So it's all quite interesting for me. And I shoot the video on the night of Sleazeball thing. I'm shooting the video, and I didn't know that until this morning, so I'm quite nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. She'll be right.
I had to learn the song 2 days ago, I never sang it.
Well, I tell you what, for learning it for 2 days, it certainly sounds like a great track, I tell you.
Oh, my God. And it was supposed to be for Tina Turner. She's supposed to be singing this song, not me.
Oh, I tell you what, you don't do a bad version of it. I'll tell you, I suppose I must admit, it would be probably a song that Tina Turner would do very well, because knowing the way the way she sings, I'd say there's not really... I had her in
mind when I was singing it, too, because I honestly thought they had asked me to do a demo for them that ended up being whatever it was for her.
Right.
And they told me that, she didn't take it, so I forgot all about the song.
Right.
I forgot I even recorded the tune.
Well, I tell you what, I don't think they're going to forget it over here in Australia, because I think it's going to be a big hit. I believe it's going to be a big hit. And the idea of my show, I don't know if you really know a bit about Hitmix, but I always tend to sort of put a lot of the tracks that aren't picked up by a lot of people, and I listen to them and I sort of say, well, this is pretty good. I like this.
Exactly.
And I go with that, and I go with the flow. I actually go with the feel of the track. And when I heard it, I said, geez, this is fantastic.
Yes,
I'm going to do something about it.
It's a really good song.
No, it is a good song. What else is happening to Lonnie Gordon these days?
Let's see. I was at a press party in New York last week. I'm promoting a song there called If You Really Love Me, and it's an old Stevie Wonder track. And it seems like it's getting, in the States, it's starting to move, which is really quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
I got my hands on a lot of the pie, you know. I'm doing a lot of little things so I can be successful. But,
I don't know about that. I think you're fairly successful now, you know.
I mean, it's you know, I didn't realize that I had created an audience all over the world. I really didn't know. Isn't that funny? And every time I went to some place, I started gigging a lot, and I was realizing that going back to London, there was people that I met like 6-7 years ago, and they kept still coming to the gigs. But so far, I'm just going to go in the studio and start working on the album. I think James Taylor is going to sing a track with me. I hope that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I'm quite excited about that. You know, my life is not boring these days. It seems like there's a little bit of excitement keep happening.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I find really exciting in regards to when I listen to a lot of your music, and not because I've got you on here, because it's not the reason I'm saying this, but what I'm finding when I pick up your music, it's not like everybody's normal dance style music.
Right.
What it is, it gives that raunchy sound.
Excuse
You
me?
know, and that's why I said when we talk about Tina Turner, I sort of relate her. I can understand why Tina Turner would have done this song, you know, well, and
Exactly.
you've done it well, because you have that raunchy sound about you.
Yeah, you know, I think that it'd be nice to move. And when I say dance artist, it's sort of I don't have like I have like a rock kind of voice. I've always been interested in singing rock and stuff like that. And hopefully, before I get 60 or 70, I'll start branching out a bit more.
Yeah.
I want to go to Vegas and do some show tunes. That's one of my goals that I'd like to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with, you know, the very glamorous, but the, you know, the cigarette in the hand and all that stuff. I really want to do that. So I'm working on that as I speak to you.
Tell me something. How hard is it really? They talk about the States and whatever. I know that there's a few people here in Australia that like an absolutely huge in Australia, but they go to the States and they just don't get looked at. You know, just absolutely amazes me. Is it that bad?
No, it's called the music business, and you can't sort of like get distracted and say you don't want to do this. I mean, it's just a business. You just got to keep plugging it in there. Nothing's really bad. It's just a little bit hard.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard, and my career has been just interesting. I don't successful is as far as how much I think of it. I mean, I'm speaking to you, so I guess I'm sort of successful. But it's not an easy. It's not an easy life. That's why I think they call it show business. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a singer. I did not even imagine it would be like this. There's nothing glamorous about this.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, when you say you're talking to us, let me tell you a little bit about 2RDJ. You know, like people say about community radio stations and they don't do the right thing. But let me tell you, if it wasn't for the stations like us, people like in Australia, and we're quite proud of it here at 2RDJ to tell you these type of things, people like Culture and Pete Andre would never, ever have been known. And
Exactly.
Because people like 2RDJ and a few other stations really pick them up, they see the talent in these people and they run with them.
Exactly.
And that's exactly why I will be truthful. I mean, maybe I probably wouldn't get interviews with some other people if I tried anyhow, but the only people I actually try to do something about is when I pick up a track, I like it, I think this is really worthwhile, and I say, okay, if there's a chance here, I'll see if I can get them on board and say hello to them, and that's what I've done.
I thank you for all your work with me and believing in me so much. That's quite lovely, Dominic.
Not a problem, Lonnie.
That's quite nice. But I think that for artists and anyone else, you just gotta, you know, if anybody's playing your stuff or reading about you, it's a plus. You can't get distracted and you can't give up. You just gotta keep doing it. And the music, I've been doing it since I was 16. I've never had any other job. I don't even know how to do anything.
Yeah, how long are you going to be in Sydney?
I'm gonna be here. I think I leave on Tuesday. I go back to New York and have a day off, and I'm back on the road again.
And then you're doing your thing all over again.
Yeah, I dig performing, and I like seeing people smile. It's it's the way of my life. It's just for some reason I'm making them happy, which makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the video you're going to do. So
you're going to be there tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to try to make it tomorrow.
Oh, come, honey.
Yeah, I'll try to do my best.
Bring your children and your wife. And
Hey, I have got children too, you know.
You have children?
Yeah, I've got 3 of them actually.
Oh, wow.
And believe it or not, I've actually been married 23 years. You wouldn't believe that in this industry, would you?
Oh, hey, I was married. I was, like I said. It's very hard to have a relationship and do what you do. You're never home.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's true. I'm in the vicinity of I've been doing it for 13 years, whether it's DJing or radio or whatever. And what I found, it takes a lot of time.
Out of you. It takes a whole lot out of you. You just have to stay on board, and keep plugging away. You know what you should get? There's a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. There's original stories that were real stories in there.
Right.
How people have kept going and actually succeeded.
Yeah.
Everybody should get Chicken Soup for the Soul. It inspires helped out Lonnie Gordon.
Yeah, I think the most important thing in this industry too is you've got to have people that believe in you, and I've been very lucky in that respect in regards to my family.
Well, it seems like you believe in yourself. I think the first start is if you can believe in you.
Yeah, well, I just see this as a little thing, but what I'm proud of is that everything I get involved with, I try to do the best I can, and people are appreciative of it. And the good thing about this station or stations like this is we don't get paid, Lonnie. So if we're doing it for the love of it.
It's almost like the music business because you have to pay your dues.
Yeah.
And like I was telling another journalist, I said, people might look and say Lonnie Gordon's rich or whatever. I said, I've never made one penny off of selling a record. I've never had a royalty check.
Yeah.
And the only time I ever get paid is when I go on stage.
Well, that's exactly the same with me, mate. I've done it.
It will click sooner or later. It will click in, and it does all happen. And as long as you enjoy your job.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I'm quite happy with. I love my job.
Yep.
At least, I've been doing this forever, but I still feel excited about it.
Yeah, well, the way I see it is this way. I've made a lot of money out of the music industry in regards to DJing and whatever all over the years. And the radio work, well, I do that for love. And because I do it for love, I enjoy it. And I really like to have the people on here that I want to,
Is it hard
I'm not told to do it, Lonnie. I'm not told to do it. That's the main thing.
Exactly. I'm my own boss too. But is it hard for you to have a radio voice? Do you practice that?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's I don't know if I have got a radio voice, but it's probably been about 5 years of hard work.
Yes, after a while, it just happens.
It just happens,
That's right. It's like, do you like my voice? You think I could be like a radio?
You got a sexy voice, Lonnie. Oh, you got a sexy voice.
Hello, sir. Right? I'm not a man. I am a woman. You should hear me early in the morning. It's really bad. Hey, listen, I wish you much success.
Yes, I do too, Lonnie.
Everything, and hopefully I get a chance to meet you.
I appreciate the few minutes of your time you've given us today.
Hey, listen, I'm glad that you would spend your time and interview. This is Lonnie Gordon. You're listening to 2RDJ FM 88.1, a God that can dance.